And we're back here with more interviews, with more action, more knowledge, entertainment, and great experiences here at StarWest 2023, reporting directly from the Disneyland Hotel in Anaheim, California. And today, I have another special guest to be interviewed, Hajer.
Hajer
Hajer. I knew. Can you say your last name?
Ben Mousa.
Ben Mousa. Okay, that wasn't that difficult. I was just thinking
You got it.
along the same line. Hajer Ben Mousa.
You got it. Perfect. Awesome.
Sometimes I don't rock the last names or the name, the whole interview. But Hajer, welcome very much. Thank you for agreeing to come to have this conversation.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited, actually.
That's good to hear. Everyone watching, Hajer is a speaker on this conference, not just a speaker, it's a keynote speaker as well. We have lots of keynote activity and action and lots of things that are going to happen. And Hajer, I think that you started presenting last year, right? And no, Star East.
So Star East, I was a trainer.
Mm-hmm.
This is my first keynote presentation ever. So this is
Cool.
exciting.
Yeah, I'm sure that you are a little bit thrilled to call it in a way.
Thrilled, nervous, and all of the above.
And much, much more. No? Okay. We are fixing some things on backstage here on the this interview. And Hajer, for the people that do not know you, that are not familiar with you, what you have been doing, mind describing what's up with you? What do you do? Why are you here?
Okay, awesome. So I have been doing testing for, I would say, 7.5 years now, so quite a bit of time. Prior to that, I was a translator, interpreter, and actually trainer for the government in languages. So,
Oh. Here in the US?
yes, here in the US. So I was teaching French, Arabic, mainly for the U.S. government employees. And then I decided to switch into IT because I was like, why not? I'm a very,
Why
very,
not?
yeah, because I'm a
Cool.
very curious person. My husband is a software developer, and he was like, well, just try it and see how you like it. I fell in love with it. So I got my first gig, started as a manual tester, and then again, because of my husband's little spill here, he was like, why don't you try coding? I was like, sure, let me do it. So I did it on my own through YouTube videos, through
Oh, cool.
Udemy courses, started with Java. And my company was like, okay, since you know how to code, why don't you become a test automation engineer? I said, okay, let's try it. Went really well. So combining testing and coding, getting that test automation was a perfect match. After that, I had a call from Coveros, wanted to interview me for training, for a training position. Took it, fell in love with it, and here I am. So since then, it's been quite a journey. I trained a lot of courses in testing mainly, in test automation also. And from there, I got my first opportunity to have a keynote presentation at this
Here.
fabulous place, which is, Disney. So here I am. This is another big opportunity to see how I like it. Maybe I'll love it, maybe I'll hate it. We'll see.
I think you're gonna love it. We were having a conversation with another keynote speaker,
Hmm.
Christopher Nostrum,
Oh, yeah, I know him.
who declared himself a conference junkie. That
Ooh,
once you are in this scene, in this environment, you cannot get back or get out of it.
ooh,
It's
okay.
but it's a nice. We defined it as a virtue, not as a vice. It's something good. I think that you're gonna like it a lot. Have you been doing like a lot of this public speaking or sharing or helping people? Or
Well, yes and no. Well, as a trainer, you do have to be in front of a
you
lot of
have your
people.
audience?
Yes. And believe it or not, I'm also a fitness trainer. So
Oh,
I have
cool.
been around, a lot of people. And what's exciting about being around a lot of people, it's really seeing the changes in people. whether it is fitness or, IT or anything. It's just I really thrive through seeing people evolving and changing and learning. So that's what really gives me that little adrenaline pumping. So
That heat of
the heat of
adrenaline. That.
things.
And you mentioned fitness as well. What type of fitness?
Boxing.
Cool.
Yes, that's actually going to be my presentation tomorrow. I'm going to combine boxing and presentation, two of my passions. So
Oh, the good one and two
one,
ready
two,
for
jab, cross. One, two, three. Yes.
wow.
Yep.
It's well, I'm already wanting to jump over there, but this is an impressive journey to begin with because you are just like, yeah, get into IT just because. What were your kind of like initial studies, or what was your initial career?
Oh, oh God, medical. Med
What?
school. So I was a med school in France, studied for 2 years, and then ended up here because I found the love of my life, and here we go. Went from med school to being a language instructor to IT to speaker. So just trying
QA
different,
and
yeah, different, trying different things and seeing how I like it.
this is a big show of you can become whatever you want if you put your mind up to.
I agree, definitely. If you're really, it's all about discipline and really being passionate about what you do. If you get those two together, you can accomplish anything.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, I can tell. Uh, Did you felt passionate or determined to be up on one of these big stages?
Um, I like to challenge myself,
Uh-huh.
so I would say yes. Yes, I want to see how it goes. It's kind of like just boxing. Just like boxing. It's you go there, you go in the ring, you see how it goes. You're going to be excited. You're going to be challenged, but that's what life is all about, right? So you have to try, and I want to see how it goes. If it's not what I like, and if it doesn't go well, oh well, that's okay. But if it does, hey, a new passion.
You gotta keep sprinting around
Exactly.
in the
Right.
life arena.
Yes.
That's I am amazed. I'm impressed,
Thank
and
you.
cannot stop smiling because it's just a beautiful set of transitions and changes. Medicine. I mean, I have heard so many people saying like, "No, well, I didn't study anything related to IT. I cannot get into that. That's awful." But I think, especially in QA, is where I have found the most uh, transitioners, to call it in a way. And I'm curious of that experience. How was it for you first to jump from medicine and languages,
Hmm.
which I already see how things connected a little bit,
Yes.
into your first experiences with IT? How how was that? Did you jump right straight into QA?
Yes, definitely yes. So I had, as I said, I started. I was self-taught, to be honest with you. I'm very curious. That's
I
that's
can tell.
that's who I am. So sometimes it's too much. Even my husband tells me, "Okay, you don't need to go there," and I'm like, "Yes, I do."
Chill.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Yes, I do." So I saw, that it's a career that can open up a lot of doors. And to be honest with you, I wanted to become a developer, but I was like, okay, let me just get my feet in and see how it is. Let's start with QA. Okay, that was not bad. And then since I liked coding, I like to solve puzzles, I like to do all this stuff, I was like, okay, maybe, getting into automation is the next step, right? So I just fell in love with it. It's something that really, solving puzzle, trying to answer questions, try to solve problems, trying to find solutions to things. Yeah, it's something that I like to do.
I think that's also on one hand the drive that you have. I can tell that you have a lot of drive. I relate with the story that at home they were being told like, "Hey, chill, stop, don't get into more stuff."
It's a little bit too much sometimes. Yes.
What is that too much? What are some of those other things that you start kind of like?
It's just like sometimes it's just too many things all at once, and
Mm.
and sometimes I put my hands in too many, pots, so to speak, and it can become messy if you see the analogy there. So I what I liked about the QA world is, again, it's that curiosity, that solving problem, looking at things where people would not even think about doing that. So it really opened up something that I did not see in me. So it's always something nice to have, right?
The I mean, with that curiosity,
Hmm.
with those type of ADD.
No, actually, I'm a very organized person, and if you come to my house, actually, I'm a little on the other scope, which is
OCD?
OCD.
Huh. I think some of those are kind of
Yeah, yeah. I like to
related,
have
or
my things where they are, they should be, and very, very meticulous.
how do you feel if those things are not in that order? Or
I put it back in the order. So I have 4 children. So
they
three
better line
boys.
up?
No, they're not actually. So they are the opposite. I have 3 boys and 1 girl, and boys tend to be a little messy. So I'm always behind and almost. But like you said, I have a lot of energy, so I can't keep up with all that.
But sounds like you build systems to kind of
Oh
have
yeah,
everything like just in place. And
yes,
I can relate to that. When one of those systems fails, all hell breaks loose, and it's
yes,
like
yes, exactly.
silly story. Why didn't you brush your teeth? My soon-to-be wife
Yeah.
asks me, and I'm like, well, because I didn't shower in the morning and it's not linked, and I just like lost track of that.
Routine. You
I'm,
have things that goes
I'm
well.
sorry. Do I need? I'm gonna be back in a moment. She's like, no, 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 you're fine. But was wondering why didn't you? Or sometimes I do that, and then I shower and I brush them again. I'm like, didn't I just do
I
this like
just
an
did
hour
it.
ago? Like, it's silly, but
Yes. No, I completely relate to that because I'm the same way. I like to have things done in a certain order, and I like that sequence to stay the same way. So I I I hear you and I feel you.
yeah, I can relate a lot to what you're are saying. And with this curiosity, with these jumps that you did, getting now fully into QA, and there are people watching that very often are like, how shall I start? What should I do? What recommendations would you give to people trying to get into QA to do as a first step, coming
Awesome.
from a different area?
Yeah, awesome question. Well, the first thing I would suggest is to watch videos, research, look into things that are available out there for free.
Mhm.
We have a lot of YouTube videos.
The
There's a lot
YouTube
of,
University
yeah,
is.
exactly. And there's so many boot camps, training centers and things like that. But start small. Look into it, see if you like it. And then if you do, why not just jumping into the onto the on the wagon, just do it. Sometimes you just have to throw yourself in, do your research first, obviously, and then just try and see how it goes.
How was it for you? Did you start like a position first and then
Yeah.
got it, or first you started a
Oh
train and
yeah,
then?
no, on my own. Like I said, I watched a lot of YouTube videos. I watched, I got a membership with Udemy. I bought a lot of courses, and then just understood how it works, understood the basics, and then I was like, why not? Let's just try.
And you applied for a QA
Well,
job,
my
and
husband helped a little bit, so yes.
did he apply for you? How was
No, because
that?
he was already, as I said, he's a developer, so he helped me. Getting my first gig was, it's a little bit sometimes it's who you know. So
Yeah, yeah, that helps. I won't
it does.
deny
It does.
that. But with that first gig, you started to get some experience, and with
Yes.
that, you have it on your resume, and you're good to go to
Yep.
many other
Yeah.
QA positions.
And with QA, the interesting thing is the more experience you get, the better you become. So if you do it on your own, even being a beta tester, it's a thing. Why not just try, little things, try to see, little gigs here and there for testers. There's so many of them, and see how you like it. If you're the type of person that likes to look at things where nobody else would do, or thinking of outside the box, might be your call.
Yeah. Especially common sense and out of the box are like two main components.
Hmm.
The other one that I see, and we just mentioned that you have it or gotta have it, is a little bit of OCD-ness, to call it in a way,
Yes,
because QA is details,
it is.
is finding the spots, finding the.
It's a lot of detail. You have to be detailed oriented. You have to, be organized, because if you start without a plan, the old saying, if you um, fail to plan, you're planning to fail, right? That
Mhm.
old saying, you got to plan. You have to have something in order for you to be able to stay on track. If you don't, you're going to just be all over the place, right? So this is where my OCD comes in handy.
Very much. I usually say that one of the biggest characteristics for a QA engineer is that diligence, that like
Yes.
thrive to kind of have stuff in place. And
Hmm.
I always tell the story of my fiance and some other people I know from a mile away will be able to see a Word document that I'm working on. Third paragraph, you have a weird font. That's not the same
Hmm.
one. Like,
Yep.
how can you tell that? It's like, wow, you should be in QA as well.
That's true. That's true. Those little detail should make a difference to us QA. And when you start seeing those little things that nobody else is seeing, because I do the same thing with my husband. I'm like, well, your tie is a little crooked. And he's like, I don't see it. I'm like, yes. And I put it like
Center
exactly
it.
centered, with exactly where those, flap goes in. It has to be perfect.
Yeah,
So
like software, as perfect as possible.
as perfect as possible, exactly, because we can never attain perfection, but
And on your daily life, don't you feel like you are as well, like opening an app or doing like, oh, defect or things? We just took a photo of a weird thing that we noticed yesterday on the StarWest app.
okay.
In his phone, it
Oh, doing
says
some
that
QA
something.
things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. In his phone, it starts at 4:30, the event,
Hmm.
and on mine, it's at 4.
Uh-oh.
We put them
Oh, that's
together
not
like,
good.
ooh, we have the same times, and it's just like you cannot tell it's like time zone difference because 30 minutes of difference. Like
No,
what?
that's a huge difference. Yeah,
That's weird, right?
that is weird. Yes, I agree. That's a bug. It's a
Definitely.
defect.
We keep finding them and we walk into them and we were talking about some other platform that we were using and like by accident on the performance modern performance tutorial. I
Okay.
was like, let's check Disneyland's page. Oh wow, it
A
was like,
lot of
yeah,
defects. Uh-oh.
performance situations.
Uh-oh.
And well, coming back to all these topics,
Hmm.
you are presenting your keynote.
Hmm.
What's the title for the keynote again?
So Jab cross and code.
Jab, cross, and code. I like now that I understand more what it is about. I dig the
Yes.
jab, cross, code.
And code. Boom. Knocked
Huh?
out.
Huh? Huh. Okay, I like it. And can you, I mean, without spoiling it, because
Hmm.
it's coming tomorrow for free, streamed in the platform, not by me, in the Stackwell StarWest platform. Please, it's free. Log in, get your credentials, and you'll be able to watch the keynote. But try not to spoil it too much. But in a trailer coming next tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah. So the trailer would be three words: resilience, discipline, and hold on, resilient, discipline, and knockout.
Knockouts.
There you go.
Okay, I like it. How each one of them? I mean, I can foresee, but um, expand a little bit because just three words.
You're gonna spoil the whole thing now.
Not too much. Not too
Yeah,
much.
not too much.
Well,
Okay.
a big part of the thing, I'm getting a feeling that you're gonna have a lots of enacting and interesting things
Hopefully,
happening.
I don't know about enacting, but
You're gonna be on a stage. That's
yeah, that's
acting up there.
yeah, yeah.
Want it or not, it is.
Right, right, right. I mean, if people ask, I can show some jab crosses here and there, but I'll try not to scare people, because it's always very a little bit of like a, ooh, okay, we did not see that coming, especially the way I'm dressed and the way, I'm and I have a little joke in that in the presentation. I say, okay, now try to imagine me younger, fitter, and just like, and they're like, okay, different outfit. So it's that thing that would be, if people ask, I just don't want to scare people because when I go to the gym, that's what I get. Like, what is wrong with this older lady, that's just dressed differently and just really punching that bag and almost breaking it. So it's always that um, impression that I give when I start really getting into boxing. So I'm just like, whoa, okay, I'll just take the hat of the QA on this one, um, and really step back and just try to be a little chill, like my husband says.
Mm. But it's I see some of the elements or principles that you have to, the mindset that you
Mhm.
have to have in boxing.
Yeah.
How can they relate with QA?
Oh, a lot of them. The discipline, the resilience, and that I said, forget the agility. There you go.
Oh.
Agility and flexibility. You got to have it.
Hmm.
When we talk test automation, agile comes in mind. So I talk a lot about agile. I talk about flexibility and trying to really not always expect perfection from the start. It's all about training and getting that mindset of I will get better all the time. I just have to put my mind and my effort into what I do. So hopefully, by the end of the presentation, people will get something out of it and use it, in their day-to-day QA career.
I appreciate a lot now that you mentioned the agility. That analogy totally clicks because yeah, you never know how your opponent is gonna, if
Exactly.
he or she's gonna telegraph the punches from a mile or just you didn't even see like, oh, what happened?
Yes.
You gotta react. You gotta be.
Mhm.
It's not everything about speed, but reaction.
Oh, yes. And
And
I have little stories here and there about what you say exactly about. It's not about speed all the time.
oh,
Sometimes you just have to just use your head, whether it is in fitness or boxing or QA. It's the mindset. It's always the mindset. In even in your everyday life, in your everyday life, if you put your mind to it, you can achieve whatever you want to.
hmm and you are a big example of that.
Thank you.
Uh, no, I'm still very impressed, happily impressed. When you
Appreciate
said the
that.
boxing, is like I wasn't like, ooh, no, what?
But you were like, oh, I didn't see that coming.
Pun intended, caught me off guard.
There you go.
Uh, but it was made me smile right away. We're like, what? Really cool.
I hope
That's
I'm gonna get that also on the stage because that's the whole thing. No matter how you look, no matter how you are perceived, it's really who you are and who you are that should become who you are, not how people see you. That's exactly what I wanted to give as a message through the presentation. It's know who you are, be proud of who you are, and make people see you the way you think you
that's that's the
are.
id, the super id, the ego, and all those layers that you present. It's really important. It's very cool how you kind of proudly,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
this, I'm that, I'm that, other that. We all have different masks and all that stuff.
exactly.
I am incredibly curious. How did you got into boxing? How
Oh
did that
God, are
happen?
you really gonna spoil the whole entire presentation now?
Oh, well, no. Let's leave it.
Yes,
People watching, if you want to find out
there you
how
go.
that happened, tune on tomorrow. Don't miss the keynote presentation to find out how this happened. I'm incredibly
Curious.
curious. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There you go.
You picked up my curiosity. I'm gonna bring popcorn and gonna be like, it's finally gonna tell it.
Yes,
um, so, in for future conferences, are you planning to come on more or sharing
I would
more?
love to. Yes, if I get invited, I would gladly come.
I have a
Yes.
feeling that you may become soon, as Christopher was mentioning, like a conference junkie,
Yes.
getting ready to.
Yes.
Uh,
Conferences are really a big thing because you meet so many people from so many different backgrounds, and it's such an, like it's that adrenaline feeling that I feel every time I come here. You really love it. So yeah, I think I'm going to become like Christopher.
Not only Christopher, I mean, me myself, I started coming to conferences not to present, but to just learn and grow.
Mhm.
From that perspective, it's incredible, and everyone watching should be coming back to more
Yes.
conferences, attend, grow your knowledge, grow your network, grow your experiences, because being in a conference is definitely an experience.
Oh yes.
And at the same time, that transition into just being an attendee to a presenter,
Mhm.
or not just a presenter, a keynote presenter, that happens. It's makes me smile a lot, because similar as you are describing, like, it's gonna be my first keynote. I don't know
Yes.
what is gonna happen, or I
It's
think
exciting, right? It's just like woo, exciting, nervous. You have all types of feelings inside, and it's you feel alive. There you go. You really do feel alive. Like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be good. It's not gonna be good. I'm fine. It's okay. Just gonna face that opponent. There you go.
that's the attitude. That's the resilience that is
Yep.
being mentioned. Showing it up big time. I can see how you represent. Um, it's not just words, but actions and
Yes.
all that. And well, just now ramping down on this interview and all this fun. It has been a very fun interview, I
Thank
have
you.
to
Same here. I really had
uh,
a lot of fun.
admit. No, no, it's I have a good feeling of your keynote that it's going to be quite a blast, a punch to everyone. Um, if people want to get in touch with you, how can they learn more about of these journeys from some other areas into QA, or vice versa, or becoming this polyfacet person, or just to say hi? Where can everyone find you?
So I have a website actually for my own company, which is www.code.lingual.com.
Lingual, Lingual.
Correct.
So that if you didn't hear it well, what's about this new endeavor that you are doing as well?
Oh, yes. So I'm really jumping into the whole world of a new company thing, which is going to be all about IT training, speaking, public speaking, and also the difference is that I'll be teaching anything in testing in different languages, starting with Arabic, French, and English. So I plan to be international. So if there's anybody around the world that's interested in having my services, to help their team, just email me or get in touch with me. And I'll help out.
Parlez-vous le français?
Très très bien, bien sûr.
Do
C'est ma
you need
première langue.
QA? You can. Sadly, Eric, I cannot.
Oh, you did it. You did it. That was awesome.
Yeah, but if you need anything, learning in terms of QA, growing, uh, connecting these languages with,
Mhm.
because it's very important. So many people that do not speak English.
Exactly. And I saw a lot of that where you have people that do know a little bit of English, but the nuances that, if you're not a native or at least, fluent in that in English, you cannot understand it. So having, it presented in English and maybe having it also explained in a different language can help a lot of people. And my goal, and that's also why I created this company, is really to expand and trying to show people that anybody can do it. If I can do it, English was not my first language. If I can do it, if I got into QA, I want to reach out to a lot of people and giving them that opportunity to learn about QA, to learn about testing, to learn about test automation, agile, all that great stuff.
I think it's gonna be a blast, and everyone, if you need anything, what was the website again?
www.code.lingual.com.
Check it out. Don't miss it. This is gonna be a beautiful endeavor. I think a lot of people will get a lot of benefit from it, and
Hopefully.
best of luck. I don't think you're gonna need it, but adding spices on top.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No, it's my pleasure. Truly, truly my pleasure.
Thank you.
And well, with that, we are going to be ramping out of this interview. Thank you very much, Hajer, for coming and sharing.
Thank you for having me. It was a blast. Thank you.
Really, really a blast. So, but speaking of blast punches and getting knocked out of your socks, is that the saying? Um, we are not done yet. This is just the second round, third round, something like that, out of I don't know how many. We're already hearing the bell. We got to go to our corners and take our seat a little bit, get toweled up and hydrated. We need coffee. Yeah, we need coffee. So that we can prepare, because here in this room, very soon, oh, wow, very soon, we're having the panels. So we got to set up for the panels. We'll see you in a moment, and we'll set up everything so that you can enjoy, pose your questions, and see what is happening here at StarWest 2023. So with that, again, Hajer, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me again.
And with that, Leandro out, Hajer out. Adios.
Thank you.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.